Here's what we're buzzing about at NewsBeast. Newt Gingrich scores a huge endorsement that's making the Romney camp very unhappy. But first, our cheat picks. Nick, what you got?
My cheat pick is coming out of the Thanksgiving weekend is this Kansas teenager who is refusing to apologize to Governor Sam Brownback for an offensive tweet she made. I think this says everything that's great about America. This teenager made this ugly, kind of dumb comment on Twitter. Sam Brownback's staff got mad at her via her principal, but the kid, even though she kind of fudged the truth a little bit in her tweet, is standing to her guns and sticking with her guns.
I have to say, I don't think the tweet was either ugly or dumb. I'm totally pro this girl. She doesn't agree with her governor. She doesn't like it. She tweeted about it, and it's a very low moment for Brownback. I think it makes him look very petty.
On his staff that decides to follow up on a tweet with the principal.
Yeah, I mean, a high schooler. The cover-up's always worse than the crime.
Bad staff work, people. Bad staff work. All right. Rebecca, what you got today?
I'm really disturbed by this story out of Syracuse about the assistant coach Bernie Fine, who has now been fired on allegations that he molested a bunch of kids, much like the Sandusky story. It's just that I don't know if you guys have heard this audio tape that's come out of one of the students he allegedly molested talking on the phone to his wife, who gives every indication that she knew about it. And not only did she know about it, but she went on to have her own affair with this poor young man a few years later. It's really sordid and awful.
So
and
sordid.
My question out of the story, because he's now a man, he was a boy then, but he went to police in 2002, and also ESPN has had this tape for a while. So I think the next big question in the story is why they chose not to investigate it in 2002, and just why didn't anybody do anything about this
What's
sooner?
up with all these sports sexual assault cover-ups?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this is the good thing that can come out of all these terrible stories, is maybe a reduction in the amount of power that these coaches have. And I think it's a mixture of fear on the part of victims coming forward and fear of police in terms of going after these community heroes. Hopefully that can all get changed.
All right. Creepy and disturbing up in Syracuse. I'm going to go with Egypt elections because this is actually the biggest story of the day by far. I mean, here you have...
And yet we're talking about Newt.
And yet we're obsessed with Newt because this is America. Look, here's the deal. We got 9 months after Tahrir Square, and this is the other shoe. This is what happens next. All signs, huge turnout, people lining up by the hundreds before the polls open. And the real question is going to be, does the Muslim Brotherhood pull off this election? That's a real risk in a transition to democracy when there aren't any civic institutions because of decades of dictatorship. But this is an extraordinary moment and a fascinating moment.
Yeah, it should be very exciting.
Yeah, democracy it can be messy, I guess.
It can.
And we're seeing
it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about our messy democracy on a much smaller scale. Yes. A guy named Newt scores the Manchester Union leader's endorsement and is pulling ahead, or at least showing a very strong showing in Iowa. The Romney camp's got to be sticking forks in their eyes over this one.
Yeah, you know, it's not great news that Romney didn't get the endorsement, but you know, as people were pointing out on Twitter, I wrote this down. The newspaper's track record of endorsements is not necessarily like a crystal ball. I mean, they endorsed Reagan in '76.
President DuPont did very well.
President DuPont, yeah.
They love Buchanan.
Buchanan twice, Steve Forbes.
Buchanan.
So, you know, I don't think this is sort of like totally a panic moment, just sort of one more indication that people just don't like Mitt Romney, and they just can't get behind him.
Well, I'm more interested in actually in the praise that Bill Clinton had for Newt Gingrich, not the
famous best
union
friends.
leader. Yes, exactly. I don't know where I celebrate Newt in his moment. I think it's going to be a short-lived moment, but let's all enjoy it while it lasts.
Well, look, they've had these sort of 5-week shelf life. Theoretically, this Newt surgeons could
I'd like
take
to see the sort of like sign grab.
Yeah, no, we can provide that at the Beast. But it really is extraordinary. It does show, I think, how deeply disliked Mitt Romney is. Yeah. It's not going to make a difference ultimately in New Hampshire. I mean, the guy's got almost a 30-point lead. But if the anti-Newt forces coalesce around Newt, no one's going to be happier than President Obama. So, gotta love it. Let's do the final word. What's the sum up of your wisdom today, Nick?
I'll go with Tiffany's.
Ooh,
things that as Newt gets more attention, certain things are going to come back into the news cycle, just like Newt himself is back in the news cycle.
Rebecca?
I'm going to go with bubble.
Bubble, why?
The Newt bubble, and we're seeing the tech bubble pop, and it just feels like a bubbly, champagne-y end of year time.
Yes, let's celebrate.
Elections. New birth of freedom in Egypt, we hope. We'll see you all tomorrow at NewsBeast.
Nobody loves freedom like John Avlon loves freedom.
I love me some freedom.
Everywhere you look.